Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamaha-siddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd Pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nithyanandaya swagatam Anandanubhavaswadam Sarvaroga nivarakam Vande papa vinashaktam Nithyanandaya swagatam Nityamuktam nirvikalpam Dhyanaloka pradipakam Vande shantamayam bandham Nithyanandaya swagatam Anandagandha sancharam Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam.
Different techniques, different methods, different deities, different paths. Then what is the point that decides the person's enlightenment? Because in all paths, in all the ways, people achieve enlightenment. What is that it decides? Intensity. That decides the person's enlightenment, the higher experience. With intensity, whatever you do, will be meditation. Without intensity, even if you meditate, it will be just a ritual. It will be just ritual. As I was telling, whenever I teach meditation to 100 people, I learn 100 versions of that same meditation. Success depends on the person not on what he is doing, but what he is. But what he is. It depends on the intensity which he carries. Patanjali says, based on the intensity, low, medium and high, the success is achieved. I just want to drill this one point again and again and again, so that you will become intensely intense. You will become intensely intense. Otherwise, we do the same old things. See, intensity means the ability to stand for what you believe and break free from the past method of function, the past attitudes of function, past way of functioning. Please understand. Ability to break from the past way of functioning and live in a new way, to start in a new way. That is what I call intensity. Otherwise, we go on and on and on in the same way. You can see in your life, even inside your house, you will walk in the same route, sit in the same sofa, go to your bed the same way, and you will lie down in the same way, and you will come back and sit in the same chair in the dining table. You will eat and come out to the garage. You will drive in the same way. You will not even be alive, creative. I always tell my brahmacharis, my ashramites, at least do new mistakes. I will have some entertainment. Even for that, we don't have creativity. You need intensity to do things new. Otherwise, even your mistakes, same old, maybe a difference in quantity, little big or small, but not in the very quality. I have a story for you. A cowboy rode into town and went into the saloon for a few drinks. When he came out again, his horse was gone. He stormed back into the saloon and shouted, "Who stole my horse?" There was no reply. He was getting angry. "Right, if no one owns up to stealing my horse, I am going to do what I did in Arizona." Still there was silence. The cowboy was fuming. "This is your last chance. If no one owns up to stealing my horse, I am going to do what I did in Arizona." Just then, a lone voice piped up. "What did you do in Arizona?" The cowboy said quietly, "I walked home." You may be doing the same thing. When there is no intensity, you will be doing the same thing. You will be doing the same thing. Understand, intensity is not seriousness. Intensity means deep passions and passion. Deep passion and deep passions. Strong will and strong prayer. Strong will is passion. deep prayer is patience. Please understand. If you understand intensity as just will, passion, sometimes you may become serious. I have seen people become very serious. Seriousness is sickness. All seriousness is sickness. Somehow, the Indian spirituality is suffering with this one constipation. A long face. Yogi means a long face. If you see a yogi or some spiritual guy or claims to be a spiritual guy with a long face, he doesn't need your respect. He needs medicine for constipation. Really. Many times, somehow that seriousness is associated with intensity. No. Intensity is sincerity, but not seriousness. You will be intense and be relaxed. Intensity without passions will raise number of thoughts. See, just intensity, passion, without passions will raise number of thoughts. It may lead to outer world success, but never inner world success. Just a deep patience, acceptance, without having number of thoughts, may lead to inner world success, the silence, the peace, but not the ultimate enlightenment itself. Please understand. Just passion naturally will raise the number of thoughts. You will be successful in the outer world. The more number of thoughts you have, the more successful in the outer world. If you have just passions, you will deeply accept everything. You may be successful having peace in the inner world, but not the ultimate success, the enlightenment itself, which gives you the fulfillment in the outer world and the inner world. So the enlightenment is totality of passion and patience. Intense number of thoughts with a deep silence means your very frequency will be different. So please understand, in the intensity, you do not have just passion, you have patience also. You became complete, you became fulfilled, you just radiate the truth. Intensity is a strong feeling that I should achieve, and strong prayer that I should achieve. It's like you put your whole being, you put the whole effort, and you know the ultimate is supporting you. It's like you will have a deep will, strong will, and deep prayer. Even if anyone is missing, it can't be called as intensity. Strong will and deep prayer. Understand? If you understand the divine is supporting you, the effort you put, even if it is little, suddenly you see the success happens. Just by remembrance, the divine is supporting you. You don't even have to bother whether it is factual or not. You don't have to measure. Am I supported? how many hours it stood with me, what has happened. There is a story. One guy asked a boon from God. God, you should always be with me. God said, all right, I'll always be with you. So whenever this guy walks, he will see one more set of footprints behind him. Means God is walking. Whenever he is in joy, he will see two sets of footprints, he and God. Whenever he is in suffering, he will see only one set of footprints. So he called the God again. What is this? Whenever I am in joy, you are following me. When I am in suffering, there is only one set of footprint. You are not following me. God laughs and says, fool, when you are in joy, you are walking, I am following you. When you are in suffering, I am carrying you. So the footprint which you see is mine, not yours. So be very clear. When you are intense, when you just remember, He is there supporting even simple effort, suddenly you see it will become reality, success. It will become success. Understand the meaning of the word Ratri. Ratri means intensity. Whatever you are, you become intense during a particular time. That is Ratri. Navaratri means 9 of such nights. Whether you are a yogi or bogi or rogi, night makes you intense. Neither rogi means diseased person with a disease, nor bogi, person who is enjoying sensual pleasures, or yogi, working for enlightenment, can sleep in the night. All three will get intensified in their lines during night. That is why the word Ratri, which really means intensity, is given to the night time. Ratri means intensity. Because you become intense during the time, the night, the word intensity has become the name for the night. How can time make you intense? Yes, time can make you intense. Understand this. Just one decision. Every day morning 8 to 9 you are going to sit in front of me and do puja. That time is for that. So decide, I should be intensely in samadhi for that 1 hour. There is no other work for that 1 hour. I cannot do anything. It is already decided. So why waste time? The reminding, the remembrance about the importance of the time can make you intense in every step. Same way. Morning, this time I have to be doing yoga. No other way. Then why not do it intensely, with more weight, more heavy? Why waste time? So every day I am going to eat 2 times or 3 times. Why waste the time? Why not be aware? The remembrance of time can make you intense. Whether as a concept or as an understanding, when time enters, it makes you intense. Remember the concept of time. Now you are sitting here. You have to be sitting here till I finish my session. Why not sit with a complete awareness so that the whole benefit happens in me? Intensely, instead of sitting in a lousy way. While eating, why not be intense while eating instead of being in a lousy way? Taking bath. Every day you have to take bath as long as you are inside the ashram, no other way. And now it is twice actually. Why not be aware of the whole action instead of being in a lousy way? You have to eat, you have to do Guru Puja, you have to do yoga, you have to take bath twice, and you have to sleep. Just these 5 actions which are inevitable in you bring intensity. That's all. In your life there are many inevitable actions, like a driving every day to office. Inevitable. Like this, there are many inevitable actions in your life. Bring time consciousness into all that. I have to be sitting in this office this many hours, no other way. I can be sitting in a lousy way and be as a clerk or a low level engineer for my whole life, or I can be intense and raise where I want. The concept of time brings intensity to you. And same way, when you understand the concept of time, when you understand with the boundary of past and present, it makes you passionate. When you understand that there is no boundary of past and present, it makes you passive. Both are blessing. If it makes you passionate, you will achieve outer world. If it makes you passive, you will achieve inner world. Both are blessing. Even if you understand with the boundary of past and future, that understanding will lead you to the experience of boundaryless time. So through passion becoming passive, through passion, passions will happen. Through intensity, intention will change. Understand? I am opening another one door. Understanding about time with the boundary of past and future is what I was talking about all these moments. Like, I am going to be here at this time. Why not be intense? This will naturally make you perfect in the outer world. Yogaha karmasu kauchalam. Yoga is perfection in action. Will happen in you. Because you decide, I am going to be here for next 1 hour doing Guru Puja. Then why be lousy? Let me chant the mantra intensely. Let me be aware intensely. Let me be fully alive intensely. This makes Yogaha karmasu kauchalam. Yoga is perfection in action. That will become reality. If you are supposed to sit in the office 8 hours, why be just an engineer, clerk for next 10 years in a lousy way? Why not be intense and rise in the ladder? Means that understanding about time brings intensity in the outer world and success. The passionate. Another one important thing, when you decide 1 hour I am going to be here, let me be intense and chant, be aware, do the puja properly. Suddenly, in few days, you catch the boundaryless time which is not packed by past or future. Because the present gives you a new opening of freedom. The suffocationless inner space. That's what I call Vedic mind. When that breakthrough happens, not only you realize yoga is perfection in action, yoga is perfection in action. Not only yoga is perfection in action, yoga is perfection in inaction. Yogaha karmasu kauchalam, yogaha akarmasu kauchalam. Understanding of yogaha karmasu kauchalam brings outer world success. Yoga is perfection in action. Understanding yogaha akarmasu kauchalam. Yoga is perfection in inaction, brings you inner world success. When you understand time with boundary of past and future, it brings you the responsibility of being intense. When you understand the time without boundary, it brings you the tremendous freedom of inaction. Freedom of inaction, responsibility in action is what I call passion with patience. Intensity without intention. If you don't know the freedom of inaction, major dimension of your life is missing. You do not know how to lie down and rest like Mahavishnu in the Milky Ocean, being in Yoga Samadhi. Just being in Samadhi like Shiva in Kailash. Same way, if you do not know the responsibility in action, you don't know how to be like a Shakti, Devi, with 18 hands, fighting the greatest battle, finishing off all the negativity. When you understand time with past and present bounded, you become responsible in the outer world. When you understand time without boundaries, you become free in the inner world. Perfection in action and in inaction. Freedom in inaction, responsibility of action. Prayatna, Saitilya, Ananta, Samapadibhyam. Each word is a technical term. The orthodox translations say, through the lessening of the natural tendency for activity caused by identification with the body and through meditation on the infinite, posture becomes pleasant and firm. Let me try to give my insight, my experience. How the asana, posture becomes steady and comfortable. How your body can be aligned towards superconsciousness, and how the posture becomes steady and comfort. Prayatna Saitilyananta. Prayatna Saitilya Ananta Samabadhivyam. Through the effort, I am trying to give you idea, the exact insight. I am not just translating. Through the prayatna and samabadhibhya, it's a very deep, subtle truth. I can say this sutra can be a technique to live enlightenment every moment. See, two things you need to do to achieve the aligning to awakening. One, work intensely. Second, continuously when you work, meditate on unending infinite cosmos, means unclutching. All your postures are to align yourself with the cosmos. If you unclutch and work intensely, you will just align yourself with the cosmos. That's it. If you unclutch and work intensely, you will automatically align yourself with the cosmos. Please understand. So prayatna, I am translating prayatna in a new way. Not just effort to sit in that particular posture. I am translating prayatna as intense hard work. Work at least 12 hours a day. Let there be physical and mental activity at least 12 hours a day. You may think, oh God, that looks too much. But I tell you, for some reason, either to be productive to the society and make your life rich, or just some social service, in some way, work at least 12 hours. The funny part is, you will never be able to work for 12 hours if you are working for profit. Means to make your life more luxurious, more comfortable. Because your biomemory is such, it will give way. It will say after maximum 6 hours of work, it will say no, enough. If I have to work more than this to make myself comfortable, I don't want that comfort. It will just do a strike. Then how to work for 12 hours? The remaining 6 hours? Decide to do some non-profit activity. I tell you, non-profit activity is the ultimate creativity. Seva is the ultimate creativity. You will never become tired if you learn the trick of seva. The trick of seva means the knack of seva, means knack of serving without remembering the result, just working as a lifestyle. How? You don't breathe for purpose. You know it is your life. For life you breathe. Same way. Prayatana, effort, just as life. Working physically or mentally or physically and mentally. 12 hours a day. Take this as a spiritual instruction. Try. You may think, no, I'll become tired and all that. No, nothing. Just try. Try for next 2 months. You will see the asana happens in you. Working for 12 hours a day in unclutched way. Whenever you remember, let the inner space be unclutched, the outer body be intensely working. You will see aligning to awakening happens. Please understand. Empty mind is devil's workshop. I tell you, empty body is devil's residence. Devil goes for work only for few hours. He resides in his house for a long time. The lazy body is devil's residence. Empty mind is devil's workshop. Lazy body is devil's residence. I am giving you completely a different insight. Some of the orthodox translations say that reduce the activity which comes out of the idea that you are the body. I am saying the same thing in a very practical way. When you unclutch and start living, please understand, after unclutching, start living. Don't start waiting for death. I am seeing so many of these Vedantis. The moment they learn a little bit of some Vedantic ideas, they stop living. They are just dragging their life, waiting for death. No. Unclutch and start living. Be active, alive, intense. As long as you don't physically become active in unclutched way, the suppressed pain engrams in you will continue to haunt you. One of the major problems all the male Vedanta sannyasis suffer is the laziness leads to indulgence and creation of new engraved memories. One of the major problems all the female Yoga Vedantis, sannyasis suffer is the physical laziness leads to the indulgence of the past suffering engrams. Please understand. All of you, followers of me, students of me, disciples of me, devotees of me, even if you are married, your mental setup is evolved to such a way you are Yoga Vedanta sannyasi. So if you are male, the major problem you suffer is due to the laziness caused by the non-appliance of proper unclutching creates indulgence and new engrams. If you are female, because of the non-appliance of proper unclutching, the laziness causes, makes you indulge continuously in the past suffering and engrams. So understand, the ultimate aligning to awakening happens by intense, please understand, intense working. Take up for-profit or non-profit work, something. I tell you, this non-profit work, the seva, service, is the highest form of creativity. There you get all opportunity, possibility, everything to express your creativity. I can give you one more insight and understanding. When the aligning to awakening happens, even your words will be a great service to the world. You can serve the world not only physically, even by uttering right words, giving right truths, right understanding to people. Even that can be a very powerful, amazing service to the world. So please understand, aligning to awakening. Some more deeper insights into asana. From my own mentor, Raghupati Yogi, when he was training me into asana, he will make me do such intense, heavy activities like shifting stones and rocks from one place to another, one corner to another, and from the corner back to the same place. It is not directly productive, but he will insist, no, do that. And after certain exhaustion, when I feel exhausted, then he'll ask me to do the same work in an unclutched way, means meditating on the all-pervasiveness, meditating on the infinite. I used to very clearly experience, first if I work, that shifting a stone from right corner to left corner for 6 hours and I am tired, after he initiates me into the technique of meditating on infinite, next 6 hours I will be able to work, shifting the stones from here to this corner, back. I tell you, meditate on the infinite continuously, which means unclutching. Meditate on the infinite continuously, go on and on and on. Take this as a process. Work for 12 hours a day. Something physically or mentally. If you don't have any work, contact our centers. We have a lot of work. Take this as a spiritual practice. I tell you, all the engrams which are not letting your body to align to awakening will leave your system, and you will be aligned to the awakening. I tell you, every action either releases or creates certain engram in you. If your action is done not inspired by the engram, but meditation on the infinite. See, if you are engaged by the engrams, it is engagement. If you are inspired by the infinite, it will lead to samadhipatya, what Patanjali calls samapadipatibhyam. Samapadibhyam, the state of ultimate consciousness, aligning to awakening. So I am making this whole sutra as a practical process. process which you can do every day. Do your regular job which you need to do to keep yourself alive for survival necessities, food, clothes, money. Keep your regular job. Apart from that, continue to do more activity, work, by meditating on the infinite. By meditating on infinite. Please understand. By meditating on infinite, when more and more activities are performed, when more and more actions are done, you have no other way. Simply, your engrams will leave your system. I tell you one small example. Every action releases some engrams from your system. Even during the levitation which is happening in your body, when the Kundalini is awakened, all the stored, suppressed engrams leaves your body. You can see lot of violence will leave your system. Lot of fantasies and greed will leave your system. Just the intense physical vibration, your deep craving for the physical pleasure and fantasies will leave your system. Intense movement of the body, your stored deep fears will leave your system. Fears, the desire for pleasure, fantasy, all this leaves your system just like that by this levitation. You may think how the levitation is leading to transformation. This is the way I understand. This is science of levitation. When you are encaged by the engrams, you are gravitating means you are just pulled down. All I am doing when I awaken your Kundalini is just make your short-sighted intellect into a vast-sighted intelligence. Make your life energy alive. Naturally, your ego dissolves into life energy. For those few moments, your intense bioenergy gets awakened. Naturally, when the bioenergy gets awakened, you are no more tied down by the engrams, engraved memories. Aligning to awakening happens in you when you work intensely for 12 hours continuously contemplating on the infinite. And if any of you are feeling that you are not levitating, take this as a process and technique. For next 2 months, 12 hours a day, work, physical and mental work intensely. You will see Please understand. Work 12 hours a day, meditating on infinite, means unclutching, trying to unclutch continuously. Within 2 months you will see the intense Kundalini awakening in you, and you will be experiencing levitation every day. The levitation is an intense conscious experience which removes all the engrams from your system. Asana, the right posture, means aligning to awakening. Understand these ancient scriptures in the right way. Otherwise, misunderstanding in these words can lead to such a big danger. You will become heavy. Engrams which makes you heavy are dangerous. See, as a siddhi, if you become heavy, that is different. That is totally different. In the being, you will not be heavy, but you can just make your body heavy, that immovable. But because of your engram, when you become heavy, you will be deeply depressed. You will see levitation brings so much joy. Why? Because the engrams just leave your system. See the people who are levitating and the amount of joy they radiate whole day and the conscious coherence in which they live. Yogo nashtaha, the signs of inner awakening, how it gets lost, how the yogo nashtaha, as Bhagavan describes, loss of intensity, spirit, honesty, how it happens. Let me give you the postmortem report of yogo nashtaha, because many times the spirit, the intensity died. Again, it takes birth out of some master's tongue. It takes birth in master's tongue, dies in disciple's heart. Unfortunately, never the postmortem was done so that the future deaths can be avoided. Now I am doing the postmortem. Why the spirit, the intensity dies? First reason, not having spiritual freedom. I tell you, the fellows, whether they are 30 rupee per day or 300 crore per day, you don't have 5 hours of your time. I am not even asking for 5 hours, even 1 or 2 hours of your time dedicated for spirituality. No, you don't have. Now, one more very funny thing. Not dedicating or devoting time for that spiritual freedom, you call it as a freedom. I tell you, dedicating a few hours of your day to the inner search and the development of the highest consciousness. And first thing, you need to understand the importance. Second, you need to be convinced. Third, after convincing and you accept that system and routine, 1 or 2 days, even if you slack, you should be forced into that routine. That is what I call spiritual freedom. Not having the spiritual freedom is the first reason. Second, when you look around, if others are losing the spirit, inspiration, justifying your loss also, seeing, oh, he is losing, he is losing. Oh, this is the way it seems. What is the wrong? I can also lose. Then tomorrow he is going to hell, he is going to hell, he is going to hell. Then you also go to hell. That's all. If the inspiration and the spirit is getting lost as group, let's have then group ticket booking for hell also, that's all. Justification because the other person has lost the inspiration is no way going to be making your inspiration loss as right thing. Understand? These two are the major reasons, two reasons why the death of inspiration happens, death of honesty happens, death of integrity happens. I tell you, yoga, like Bhagavan explains in this verse, intense action-based honesty. That is what exactly I will translate. Here the word yoga means intense action-based honesty. The moment you finish this satsang, if you are having intense routine ahead of your day, understand, yoga is dead for you. The moment you pack up and say, come on, now next, I have so many things lined up. So many people are waiting for my next instruction. I am rolling this Dharma Chakra. If you are running for the next routine, I can say, yoga is alive in you. Yoga is alive in you. The end living is happening in you. The science of intense action. Inner awakening with intense action. Intense action based honesty. Intense action based integrity. If that is not there, that is getting lost, be very clear. Something is really seriously wrong in you. Already your heart has become the tomb of inspiration. Your heart is supposed to be the temple of inspiration, not the tomb of inspiration. It should be temple of yoga, not the tomb of yoga. We don't want symmetry of yoga. We want temple of yoga. I tell you, the honesty and intensity, that is the essence of everything. Inspiration, integrity, honesty, intense action. I tell you, this is life. Intense action should not become second priority to anything in your life, whether money, pleasure, luxury. Nothing should take the first priority. An intense action cannot be second priority. Intense action-based integrity, intense action-based honesty has to be the first priority because it is qualitatively responsible for your all goodness, quantitatively good for your goodness. Like if you have 2 cars, good. If you have 2 houses, good. If you have 10 houses, more good. So there are many things, if the quantity is added, good for you. But the intensity, intense action-based honesty, by the very quality, good for you. Its very existence brings every auspiciousness to you. If you are living intense action-based intensity, understand you are giving me joy. Intense action-based honesty, that yoga, that only gets lost again and again and again. It's like a hide and seek game. Intense action-based community. Honest communities contribute so much to the world and to themselves. If the intense action-based honesty is missing, all corruption, all dilution, all poison gets accumulated and they become the group of demons. How Devatas become demons? When the inspiration and intense action-based honesty is lost, Devatas become demons. Because unfortunately, When that intense action-based intensity is lost, they become group of demons. All the anti-social thinking and anti-humanity thinking settles. They become source of perspiration instead of inspiration. This knowledge, this great intense action with honesty and intensity was alive. This spirit was alive. As long as it was being properly getting transmitted from father to son, father to son, father to son by the Rajal sages, the Raja Rishis. When some sons did not receive that knowledge, the chain got broken. That is where the intense action-based intensity, this great knowledge, science of inner awakening was lost. The science of having health, wealth, leadership consciousness, radiating the intense life and living in your body and mind, the science got lost. Science of yogic body and Vedic mind and enlightened living. For this inspiration dying, honesty dying is justification by comparing with others. Oh, this person doesn't come to satsang. If that is tolerated, why not me? This person doesn't do yoga. If that is tolerated, why not me? Justification which you do for yourself by comparing with others. That's the second reason why the death of inspiration happens, death of honesty happens. If you are not having intense action-based honesty, understand, you are not walking alone, you are carrying the dead body of inspiration and going around. The inspiration is given birth by master from his very tongue. He is master's child. You killed master's child. If you are not living it, you have killed the master's child. The master's gift to you. Take care, you don't do that in your life.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could ever experience. In just 21 days, thousands are already experiencing the shortest route to constantly high energy levels, visible anti-aging, healing of chronic diseases, fulfilling relationships, and higher states of consciousness. What is the secret behind this transformation?
Kundalini means the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, opens the different doors for the conscious experience in you. I can say which is a master key for all extraordinary spiritual experiences.
This extraordinary program is conducted personally by Paramahamsa Nithyananda in the vibrant atmosphere of Nithyananda Dhyanapitham Ashram. Open yourself to the benefits of Nitya Yoga and practical meditation. Experience physical and mental healing. Discover simple ways to handle life with success. Above all, enjoy individual darshan and blessings from Paramahamsa Nithyananda every day. Take 21 days for yourself and carry home the transformation of a lifetime.